It was the morning of October 2nd, 2020. A Texas mother got a frantic call telling her to rush over to her daughter's place of work because something had happened to her. No one would tell her what, but 48 Hours correspondent Peter Van Zandt reports in her heart, she already knew.
When Teresa Collard got to her daughter's office in Carrollton, Texas, she knew it was bad.
I pull up, police, fire trucks, ambulance, everywhere.
Who are you?
I'm Detective Harding.
I remember asking that officer, I said, she didn't make it, did she? And he said, no, she didn't.
24-year-old Alyssa Burkett had just parked when a man with a gun approached. Sergeant Michael Harding.
She had the window up, and he shot right through the window.
The shot entered her head, but Alyssa Burkett was still alive.
She gets out of her car, and she walks up to this landing to try to get help.
The shooter chased her and stabbed her, then fled. She died shortly after.
Oh my God!
Teresa told detectives that Alyssa was in the throes of a bitter custody battle with the father of her one-year-old daughter.
He cannot get away with this. He cannot get away with this.
We knew that we needed to look for Andrew Beard.
Detective Jeremy Chevalier.
At first, this seemed like an open and shut case. But as it turned out, Andrew Beard was only half the story.
Well, this crime happened only about 2 hours away from us here in East Texas in Carrollton. Peter Van Zandt is joining us from New York now to talk more about this case. Thanks so much for being with us, Peter.
Hey, thank you. And I used to live in Carrollton, so this one's a special story for me.
Yeah, it hits close to home. So when detectives there looked at Andrew Beard, what evidence did they find?
Well, the day of the murder, they check under Alyssa Burkett's car, the woman who had been murdered, and they discover a GPS device, and they were able to link that to Andrew Beard fairly quickly. Alyssa had often told friends, I don't understand, I'll go to some obscure restaurant and Andrew will walk in, and now that solved that mystery. They also learned that Andrew Beard had planted drugs and a pistol in the trunk of Alyssa's car. He called the cops and said, hey, you got to check out, we have a drug dealer here at the apartment complex. He had hoped that she would be arrested, but Carrollton police quickly realized that this was a setup, but at the time she did not reveal that Andrew Beard was behind this. So they got information very quickly that led them to Andrew Beard.
And investigators, well, they're always looking for motives in cases like this. What was behind this murder?
The two of them had dated for a relatively short period of time. Alyssa got pregnant. They broke up, but she decided to have the baby, and this was a battle over custody. And Andrew Beard was a successful businessman. He owned an airplane, a large, beautiful home. He thought he could provide more for the child than Alyssa, but they were having a court fight over this. But what Alyssa didn't realize in the background is that there was a third person involved in all of this, a shadowy, evil, manipulative person who ended up weaponizing Andrew to have her killed so this person could step into her life and become the mother of the child. It's a psychological drama. You will see this person, they end up figuring out who this is. The Carrollton police bring her in and interrogate her, and it is like an Oscar-winning performance to see this manipulative, clever, sinister person try to talk her way out of this crime. So it starts with Andrew Beard as the obvious suspect, but then this third party comes in, and this story comes right out of a Hollywood movie at that point. It's a real unique tale in my time at 48.
Such a tragic story, but we appreciate you for being with us, Peter. You can watch the full story tomorrow night at 9 right here on CBS 19. Thank you.
Coming up tonight on the CBS Evening News, pressure builds on congressional investigators after Donald Trump has selected Matt Gaetz to lead the Justice Department. How concerns coming from both sides of the aisle could affect the confirmation process. That and more headlines tonight on the CBS Evening News.